advantage of President Trump's new policy, ending free birth control coverage. As a result, students are now suing the Trump administration. So, do they have a case? Joining me now to weigh in is attorney Lisa Garber. Thank you so much for joining us again this morning.
Good morning. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
So, do the students have a case here?
The students, if you look at this legally, it's certainly a very complex issue. It has many, many layers, and this debate has been going on for about 5 years now in the Supreme Court and otherwise. The students, it looks like, have a tough case for sure. Unfortunately, it looks like Notre Dame, first of all, you see Notre Dame, it has this background as a Catholic university, and very obviously portrays itself as such, and it has gone against the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, in terms of being mandated to supply birth control at no cost. It's defied that at every turn. It's filed lawsuits, it's filed temporary emergency injunctions, and the students willingly went to this school with this Catholic tie, so it's hard to see that perspective. And certainly with President Trump's new rule, which came out on October 6th, he's trying to defend religious freedoms. Where it gets sticky is that he says religious freedom or moral issues, and that's the point that might be tricky to keep.
So that could be a possible loophole in this?
It could be a possible loophole, but I think we're going to see more definition of what that term actually means.
Okay. In terms, you said that this has been something that's been at the forefront for about 5 years now. How have previous cases stood up?
Previous cases, well, Notre Dame has really led the charge against mandating birth control, and the Supreme Court has upheld that they don't need to be part of this, and they don't need to supply it if it goes against their religious beliefs. And look, the Constitution doesn't mandate birth control; it actually goes for religious freedom in the United States. That's something that's gone on for a long, long time. Yeah. And now you look at this birth control mandate. If it goes against the Catholic Church, if it goes against these institutions that are affiliated, that's where it's a problem, and that's why Trump is defending this.
So when it comes to defining the moral issue, who would be responsible for that? Who would determine?
We're probably going to be seeing the courts determine what that means and really illustrate what that means. It could take some time, of course. The other problem is that birth control and Notre Dame's health plan is saying we're not going to provide insurance coverage for that if it's just for pregnancy prevention. But if there's a legitimate medical need for it, and there are many, many legitimate medical needs for birth control for women, then we will help support that. And I think that's also another way to go, if it's contraceptive care versus a legitimate medical need.
A lot of different caveats to look at with the argument. All right. Thank you so much, Lisa Garber, joining us. Appreciate it this morning.